We live on the shores of Lake Ontario. Under these calm waters, 26 shipwrecks have been discovered. I like to imagine that there's loads of underwater treasure at the bottom of this lake. Learn how I created my own treasures with a faux verdigris finish using Debi's DIY products and Iron Orchid Designs molds. We're going to use a blank wood bangle. These are available on Etsy. The new copper patina pennies from heaven from Debi's DIY, and shipwrecked this beautiful green wax. I want mermaid tail out, a little bit of white or mint chip or apothecary, something very light, and weathered wood. I'm also going to use IOD molds. These are trimmings 1 and trimmings 2. I got a little bit of cornstarch, some water, paintbrushes, you know, all the usual stuff. Oh, and air dry clay. Rub a little bit of cornstarch into my mold and take off a chunk of my air dry clay. After softening the clay in my hands, I press it into the mold using my thumbs to remove any excess. Then you can use a credit card or a putty knife, some flat edge, to slice away the extra clay. I use the micro rim to guide my edge tool so that I get a nice flat, even back. Then I flip the mold over and release the clay. I'm going to make just another little piece so that I've got plenty to work with. This is Titebond Quick and Thick, and I want to spread this over my entire bangle. I'm just working a section at a time, and I'm going to just wrap this around. I want to make sure that I get all the way to the edge. See, it doesn't fit completely, so I will take this other little piece that in, and then I'm just going to use my credit card to kind of chop that off there. Then I'm going to use my credit card to slice off the outer edge, that little bit that's hanging over.
Yes.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you know what verdigris is?
Verdigris. No. I do, but I don't, but I can't remember what it is.
If I told you it was some kind of a finish, or...
No. I'd have to look it up.
Whenever you do any kind of a faux finish, you want to reproduce the original surface and then build the layers of patina over that. In this case, I want to lay a dark base of weathered wood, and then I'll create my copper layer. This is Pennies from Heaven. This is the new Debi's DIY copper patina. It's incredible. Apply the Pennies from Heaven over the entire bracelet. Get into all the details of the mold. This is probably one of the most authentic, easiest faux verdigris finishes that I was able to create. Verdigris is the finish that happens on copper or bronze when it's exposed to the environment. The copper or bronze oxidizes and creates this beautiful, weathered, deep, greenish blue layer. It's like what you see on those old statues and garden urns and building columns. I used mermaid tail to recreate the color of the oxidation. And then wipe away the paint with a damp cloth to reveal that copper underneath. Debi's DIY can so easily be wet distressed so that you can uncover layer by layer as you wish. If you look at authentically aged copper, you'll notice that there's a slight haze over the surface. In order to achieve this realistic layer, I'm mixing a little apothecary and a white color with water to make a very watery solution, and then I brush it over the entire surface of the bracelet. Once again, I'll dab away the excess paint with a damp cloth. It's important to blot between each layer of paint that you apply for a most authentic finish. Every time that you put that watered down highlight color on it, you just want to dab it back. This is Shipwrecked, a verdigris finishing wax. With a soft brush, apply just a bit of the wax over the surface of the bracelet, and then buff it away with a dry cloth. The more you buff that wax, the more sheen that you can achieve. I love how you can still see each of those layers, from the bronzy, coppery first coats to the mermaid tail and that pretty hazy highlight. Or you can take just a touch more of the pennies from heaven, just a touch. Add a few little highlights here and there. I don't want to overdo it. Debi's DIY golden ticket. If you want to do one last thing, you can take just the slightest amount. And working with a very dry brush and a very light touch, you can highlight some of those raised areas. To finish my bracelet, I paint the inside surface with pennies from heaven. With this faux verdigris finish that I created with Debi's DIY chalk-based clay paint, I was able to create a bracelet that looks like the mineral deposits at the bottom of our lake, and that weathered copper patina that reminds us of antique treasures that may have been left from those shipwrecks of long ago. You can purchase all of the products that I used for this bracelet finish at lnjgoods.com. Visit us and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more DIY tutorials.